Welcome to the 2019 King County General Election Video Voters Guide. Your chance to hear directly from the participants appearing on the November 5th general election ballot. This is a vote-by-mail election. Instead of going to a polling place, ballots will be sent to all registered voters. All ballots must be returned on or before Election Day, November 5th. Each statement is up to 2 minutes long and unedited. The speakers appear on your screen in the order they will appear on the ballot. The candidates appearing in this video are running for King County Assessor, King County Elections Director, the Metropolitan King County Council, and the Port of Seattle Commission. All the elected positions included in this guide are nonpartisan. King County Assessor. The King County Assessor oversees the assessment of residential and commercial properties in King County, as well as personal property used by businesses. These values are used to calculate property taxes and to calculate property tax levy rates for King County taxing districts. The assessor serves a 4-year term. All voters within King County are eligible to vote in this race. King County Elections Director. The King County Elections Director is responsible for conducting elections and overseeing voter registration and voter education in King County. The King County Elections Director serves a 4-year term. All voters in King County are eligible to vote in this race.
Hi, I'm Julie Wise, and it is a privilege to serve as your King County Director of Elections. Each day I work hard to fulfill my commitment to removing barriers to voting while ensuring accurate, transparent, and secure elections. Voting in King County has never been more convenient. During my first term, we added 60 ballot drop boxes. Now 95% of voters live within 3 miles of a secure 24-hour voting location. We implemented prepaid postage because you shouldn't have to buy a stamp to vote, and added service in Spanish and Korean. We invested in culturally specific voter outreach through a first-in-the-country government philanthropic partnership. We've also opened 5 new vote centers across the county to support same-day registration. Voting in King County has also never been more secure. As Elections Director, I brought in the Department of Homeland Security and State Auditor Cybersecurity team to ensure our elections are protected. We've expanded our auditing practices and strengthened accountability. We implemented a new state-of-the-art tabulation system that is not only more secure, but saving the county nearly $500,000 per year. Most recently, I spoke out about issues with the state's new voter registration system because I believe that even one voter left behind is too many. I've been a nonpartisan election administrator for 19 years, certified at the state and national level. At a time when elections are under threat, both from international interest leading us to question the integrity of our systems, and domestically by those who would prevent rightful voters from having their voice heard. The 1.3 million voters of King County need and deserve an elections director with experience, integrity, and a commitment to making every vote count. I am proud to be endorsed by election colleagues statewide, and I, Julie Wise, ask for your vote this November.
I'm going to take this time to reach out to the youngest voters, 18 to 29 years old, the most open-minded voters of King County. According to surveys, you're doing better, but still the most likely demographic not to vote. But the levers of power in the county and the nation are in your hands, because it turns out you could be the swing voters who tip the balance of power in one direction or another. My campaign has no choice but to turn its lonely eyes to you, because you, of all people, have not only seen the chaos and turmoil of the world up close, but have had to have the courage to live under the gun, though my generation took mundane schools for granted. And now you have to be bold enough to enter a world that is increasingly unfriendly and unwelcoming to those just starting out in adulthood. It shouldn't be that way, however, so send them a message by electing me, and suddenly the shockwaves that you propel will reach your peers across the state and the nation, and the power of the people shall indeed include a youth wing that will shake foundations and revitalize politics. Tell your high schools and colleges that Mark Green is running for Director of Elections, and he asks that you register and vote right up to Election Day itself, and that I support the expansion of the vote to our 16 and 17-year-old brethren. Thank you.
Metropolitan King County Council. The King County Council is the legislative branch of county government. The County Council enacts laws and sets policy. To further county policies, they adopt the county's operating budget. The operating budget includes spending for areas such as public health and human services, metro transit, wastewater treatment, the criminal justice system, and regional parks and open space. The King County Council has 9 members, each representing a different geographic district. Voters select from the candidates representing their voting district. Positions 2, 4, 6, and 8 will appear on the general election ballot this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Gurmai Zahalai and I'm running to be your next council member for King County Council, District 2. Growing up in Seattle, I always felt like we were living in a tale of two cities. This is a region of unprecedented wealth and also a region where people are struggling to afford basic needs like housing. A region known for technology and innovation, and also a region that lacks basic infrastructure and transportation. A region known supposedly for progressivism, and one that continues to disproportionately impact Black and brown people through the justice system. I'm running to be your council member because we deserve to live in a region that works for everyone. I've seen firsthand how this economy fails to work for all of our communities. I was raised by a single mother who is an Ethiopian refugee. We grew up in places like Rainier Vista, Holly Park, and Skyway. Every night my mom would tuck her kids into bed, and instead of going to bed herself, she would put on her scrubs and go work night shift at 2 local nursing homes. Even though she worked double shift every day, she still struggled to pay rent, to pay for her car, to pay medical bills and childcare. After a lifetime of hard work, these challenges are even greater today. I'm running for King County Council to design bold solutions to these regional problems. We can live in a county where if you work a full-time job, you don't live in constant fear of losing your home and being displaced, because there is affordable housing and there are opportunities for home ownership in our neighborhoods. We can live in a county where maintaining a car no longer traps families in a cycle of poverty or destroys our environment, because more people have access to reliable, effective public transit. We can live in a county where our youth can prosper because they have limitless educational opportunities and a justice system that seeks to rehabilitate and restore rather than incarcerate and traumatize. My name is Gurmai Zahalai, and I know we can work together to make this a county that truly works for everyone.
My name is Larry Gossett, your King County Council member from District 2. Please vote for me by November 5th so that together we can finish very important work that we've been doing together in Martin Luther King Jr. County. I'm an experienced legislator fighting along with a community-wide team of people for equity, justice, and freedom, all toward the goal of improving the life for everyday people every day. My legislation positively impacts people of all races, ages, sexual orientation, as well as our larger environment. In concert with our youth, seniors, people of color, and workers, I'm introducing to King County Council legislation to create the Martin Luther King County Green New Deal. Keep your eyes on this. It's going to be a beautiful plan. For our children's sake, it is crucial we have a comprehensive countywide environmental policy that helps them, as well as the workers and everybody else, benefit from living in a healthier community. I have also worked hard for affordable housing, and that is why I want people to know that we have a 5-year plan. I want to be here for those 5 years to help lead the effort to build 44,000 affordable housing in our county. vote for me. My name is Larry Gossett by November 5th. Thank you very much.
I'm running a campaign to bring new energy and ideas to the King County Council. And by Election Day, I will personally knock on over 20,000 doors. Time and time again, I hear the same frustrations. We have to address homelessness with a proven regional approach, no excuses. We need to deliver transit and traffic improvements to our neighborhoods, and we must take a holistic approach to affordability through housing, childcare, and healthcare. And we need to be doing all that we can to address climate change here at home. I'm Abigail Dorr, and I'm running to bring needed change to this often overlooked job, where we can and must do more for our families. I'm proud of my experience leading coalitions and campaigns that are transforming our region. I led the Sound Transit 3 effort that will finally deliver light rail to Ballard. I helped build the state's largest movement to address climate change and made sure Seattle's parks receive permanent, stable funding. I'll bring this approach to the council and am geared up to take on homelessness and affordability, expand our bus system, and deliver light rail early. I will fight every day to improve public health and safety, gun violence, and will protect Puget Sound from unacceptable wastewater pollution. This election is truly about change. When the incumbent, my opponent, first entered public office in 1992, Bill Clinton was running for president, Nirvana's Nevermind was #1 in the charts, and the average Seattle rent was less than $700 a month. We are a different city now, with different priorities and challenges, locally and globally, that must be addressed. And it's time we expect more from our elected leaders. I am proudly endorsed by the Washington Conservation Voters, the King County Democrats, labor unions, Transportation for Washington, Lieutenant Governor Habib, the National Women's Political Caucus, and many more. I'm Abigail Dorr, and I would be honored to earn your support.
I'm Jeannie Colwells, and I'm running for a second term on the King County Council. Our county is among the best places to live and work, but our successes have brought challenges, increasing unaffordability, income inequality, housing displacement, homelessness, behavioral health issues, congestion, and pollution. As a budget writer and housing committee chair, I obtained funding for hundreds of new shelter beds and affordable housing units, and I'm the lead on our regional homelessness response system to alleviate homelessness and increase public health and safety. I take the bus every day and will continue fighting for additional bus routes, service hours, and accessible, affordable, and safe service. And I've secured millions of dollars to protect Puget Sound and orcas from toxins, and will continue working to speed up Metro's transition to a zero-emissions fleet, to combat climate change regionally, and ban new oil infrastructure. As chair of the County Board of Health, I'm known for working collaboratively and getting progressive results, such as on affordable childcare, sexual and gun violence prevention, opioid drug treatment, and access to justice. Just some of my endorsers include Ballard News Tribune, Washington Conservation Voters, Transportation for Washington, Washington Housing Alliance Action Fund, the Alliance for Gun Responsibility Fund, King County Democrats, the 32nd, 36th, and 46th District Democrats, MLK Labor Council, over 15 unions, the National Women's Political Caucus of Washington, Planned Parenthood, NARAL, Culture PAC, Washington State Progressive Caucus, Maria Cantwell, Bob Ferguson, Hillary Franz, Dow Constantine, and all the county council members. Please visit my website at jeancolwells.com, and thank you. It's been a tremendous honor to serve you on the council.
Hello, I'm Joe McDermott. As your King County Council member, Sound Transit Board member, and member of the Seattle King County Board of Health, Building a just, equitable, and thriving King County is the mission for my work every day. Strong transit options mean opportunity for everyone. That's why I fought to include West Seattle in light rail expansion, and am leading the effort to secure a tunnel for light rail in West Seattle. It's also why I'm delivering rapid ride bus service to Delridge and Burien, and ensuring that Metro and Sound Transit prioritize equitable fares and equitable fare enforcement. Solving our homelessness crisis means solving our housing crisis. That's why I passed legislation dedicating $660 million in lodging taxes to affordable housing, and am shaping the Council's work creating a coordinated regional response for homelessness services. With firearm deaths in America exceeding 35,000 a year, gun violence is a public health crisis that we must address. That's why I introduced and passed the King County Gun Safety Action Plan, common sense laws and programs focused on saving lives. And a thriving King County means we must be a welcoming King County. When I joined the hundreds of people at SeaTac Airport protesting Trump's first illegal travel ban targeting Muslims, it became crystal clear that we needed to step up locally to support our immigrant and refugee friends and neighbors. I partnered with Executive Constantine and the Seattle Foundation in developing the Immigrant and Refugee Resilience Fund, and sponsored the creation of the King County Immigrant and Refugee Commission to support residents across King County. A just, equitable, and thriving King County is possible no matter the challenges we face. I would be honored to continue this mission with you for the next 4 years.
Port of Seattle Commission. The Port of Seattle Commission is a county-wide municipal corporation. Port commissioners oversee the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, the Seattle Seaport, Fisherman's Terminal, 3 recreational marinas, and 2 cruise terminals. Commissioners also appoint and evaluate the port's chief executive officer, approve the annual port budget, establish financial policies, and approve labor agreements. Port Commission positions 2 and 5 will appear on the November general election ballot this year. All voters in King County are eligible to vote in this race. Commissioners serve a 4-year term.
Hi, my name is Sam Cho, and I'm running for Port of Seattle Commission position 2. I'm running because I want to see a Port of Seattle that's working for the people of Greater Seattle. If you've driven down to SeaTac Airport and if you've been stuck in that traffic, that's not working for the people. If you stood in that security line that wraps around the terminal, that's not working for the people. If you're in South King County and you're disproportionately affected by the noise pollution, you need representation. My parents immigrated to this country through the Port of Seattle, and they worked as dry cleaners. They scrubbed, washed, and pressed shirts for a living. And they hoped through their hard work that their son would one day wear a dress shirt. Well, today I'm wearing one. I'm running because as King County continues to grow, I want to ensure that we share in that growth and provide opportunities for everyone. Because as the tides of prosperity rises, it should lift all boats. That means workforce development and careers with living wage jobs. I want to tackle climate change more aggressively. I want to bring accountability and transparency to the port. And lastly, I want to stop human and labor trafficking at the port. And I have the experience to get it done. I'm a small business owner in exports and trade. And at a time when our president is waging trade wars, we need someone with export experience to protect our economy, where 40% of jobs are dependent on trade. I've worked on policy on the national level as a political appointee under President Barack Obama. I've also worked as a legislative assistant in the state legislature and for a member of Congress. As commissioner, I believe that some of my experiences will allow me to hit the ground running and get things done. As of now, I'm endorsed by the King County Young Democrats, the Longshoremen, Local Laborers 242, and 8 Democratic legislative districts throughout King County. My name is Sam Cho, and I'm running for the Port of Seattle, position number 2. And I'm asking for your vote, because together, we'll get it done.
I'm Grant Degginger, candidate for Port of Seattle Commission, position 2. Our port facilities are the front door to our region and must be welcoming places for all who visit, work, or come seeking a better life. I am committed to making the Port of Seattle a transparent and innovative partner, delivering the infrastructure, living wage jobs, and environmental sustainability our economy and communities need and deserve. During my 12 years as Bellevue mayor and council member, I helped deliver light rail to the east side, the new 520 bridge with increased transit service and bike access, and I fought for water quality and needed affordable housing. As your Port Commissioner, I will build on my proven record of bringing people together around shared values to get things done. As past chair of our Public Disclosure Commission, I'll ensure greater transparency and taxpayer accountability in port budgeting, capital investments, and contracts and executive compensation. I will make the right investments at the airport to expand opportunities for family wage jobs, ensure equity in contracting, to create more opportunities for minority and women-owned businesses, and to reduce lines at the airport by implementing remote luggage check-in locations in Seattle and Bellevue. Travelers will be able to check their bags, enjoy a luggage-free day, and retrieve their belongings at their final destination. I will protect Puget Sound and our climate by continuing to invest in cleaner aviation fuels and empowering ships, trucks, and service vehicles in port with electricity. We must reduce carbon emissions on the ground and in the air and be a better partner with neighboring communities. I will give the airport the serious attention that it clearly needs. The traffic getting to the airport and the long lines in the terminal demonstrate we must make the right investments to keep this vital facility working for passengers, the airlines, and the people who work there. Billions of dollars and thousands of jobs are at stake. I will ensure that you have a voice in the outcome.
Hello, I'm Port of Seattle Commissioner Fred Felleman. Thank you for your strong support for my re-election to the Port of Seattle Commission. I bring 30 years' experience in Seattle as a conservation leader, protecting our marine environment and those dependent upon it, from killer whales to tribal communities. As a commissioner, I've built upon that foundation, securing environmental safeguards while expanding the economic benefits of trade, tourism, fishing, and recreation. I've increased integrity by hiring the new Port Executive Director and championed the new position, Director of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. As founding chair of the Energy and Sustainability Committee, I've helped reduce the port's impacts on the climate and communities, while expanding opportunities for quality careers in King County. In my next term, I'll continue to partner with governments, business, and labor to reduce the port's carbon emissions by promoting green innovations, such as the electrification of marine terminals, while protecting jobs dependent on the working waterfront. I'm committed to reducing traffic on Airport Drive and TSA wait times to improve your travel experience. I'm also championing the use of renewable fuels to protect the environment and health of disproportionately impacted communities while expanding job opportunities. I'll work to inspire youth to pursue port-related jobs of the future by providing apprenticeships and internships, as well as on-water experience. We can all share in the natural wealth, economic opportunity, and livability of the Puget Sound region with port policies rooted in ecological integrity, social equity, and fiscal responsibility. I respectfully ask for your vote. My endorsements include The Stranger, Seattle Times, Martin Luther King Labor Council, One America Votes, Washington Conservation Voters, Sierra Club, King County Democrats, and many more. Thank you so much. Go to fredforport.com.
Hello, King County voters. I am Garth Jacobson, a candidate for Port of Seattle position number 5. First, let me explain why I'm well qualified to hold this position. Second, I'll discuss my ways to make the airport better. And third, I'll make recommendations for the seaport. First, briefly, I obtained my BA in Economics and Philosophy, a law degree, and a master's in Public Administration from the University of Montana. I also hold a master's of Tax Law degree from the University of Washington. I practice law in both the public and private sectors. I hold leadership positions in the American Bar Association in their Science and Technology section and Business Law sections. I am active in the community. As a frequent flyer, I see the airport suffers greatly from expansion. We need to do better. The airport traffic is brutal. Parking can be a pain. The TSA lines are often too long with too much plastic bottle waste. Busing passengers to planes is harsh. I recommend we make changes in the traffic flows, identify parking spots like they do in the Portland airport, add more TSA lines, and have water bottle refill stations throughout the airport so people can reduce their plastic bottle waste. For the Seaport, the Port Commission needs to hit the pause button on new cruise line terminals. I don't want to deny someone their bucket list cruise to Alaska, but cruise ships pollute 3 to 4 times more per passenger mile than jet planes. We need to think about the effect on the environment. Likewise, we don't need a new cruise terminal in the Soto area. Potentially, it just makes traffic worse for those going to games and those getting on the ferry. Let's hit the pause button with new terminals until we know the impacts. We need growth, we need progress, but we also need to think about how to do it right without asking for more taxpayer money. For these reasons, we should change direction. I ask you vote to make the ports better. Vote Garth Jacobson.
You have just seen the video statement submitted by candidates running for King County Assessor, King County Director of Elections, King County Metropolitan Council, and the Port of Seattle Commission. Ballots will be mailed to all registered voters on October 16th. All ballots must be returned on or before November 5th. For questions regarding voter registration, your ballot, or answers to other election-related questions, visit the King County Elections website at www.kingcounty.gov/elections or call 206-296-VOTE. You can return your ballot to a ballot drop box, no stamp required. Ballots returned to a drop box must be delivered by 8 p.m. Election Day, November 5th. Or you can return your ballot by mail. You do not need a stamp to return your ballot by mail. Just drop your completed signed ballot in a USPS mailbox. It must be postmarked by Election Day, November 5th. We recommend mailing your ballot by November 1st to make sure it gets postmarked in time. Or you can go to a vote center. King County vote centers are available to voters who need assistance completing their ballot. Trained staff and specialized equipment are available to help voters with disabilities cast a private, independent ballot. To find a vote center or a drop box in King County, visit the King County Elections website at www.kingcounty.gov/elections or call 206-296-VOTE. Thanks for joining us. This program is a collaboration of Seattle Ethics and Elections Commission, the Seattle Channel, and King County TV. We'd like to hear from you about the Video Voter's Guide. To comment on this guide, please call 206-684-8500.